It's like a glitch, I can't come.
I am not a king, I am not a god, I am Hump Day!
What's good, Tano? This is the second build for the Incarnon Zylok to shatter level 9999 steel path enemies in Warframe, but this time it's with the 1999 updated mods and arcane. First thing first, let me show you what this weapon capable of. And welcome back, Tano. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn the bell on to help the channel in the algorithm. Much appreciated. As always, before I build my weapons or my warframes, I rely on my method called D.V.S. D stands for how I'll be dealing damage, what elements I'll be using, what's the faction I'll be fighting, what's the weapon unique trait or augments, and if it's Incarnon weapon, what's the evolution I'll be using. V stands for how proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for stripping enemies armor. We don't care about armor, what we care about is the damage reduction comes with armor. By lowering that, we deal higher damage. And as always, I don't use any rivens in my builds to make sure that you can copy the build without the need of investing any of your platinum on a riven. And it doesn't make sense to me, I deliver a build with a riven and expect it to have the same. Also, I use Revenant, so I don't boost the weapon in any way. No Eclipse, no Zeta Whisper, no Vex Fury, no Roar, no Siren, no nothing. But if you use any boosters in any kind from the game, you can receive even better results than what you saw. Let's go. As always, if you don't like my methods on how I will proc viral and armor strip enemies, it's okay. You can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. As in Warframe, you can do a lot of things in many different ways, but the results pretty much is the same. I'll be using 2 Emerald Archon shards to push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14 to armor strip enemies with my weapon or my Tempest Barrage Helmith ability. Now, the way corrosive work is this simple. 10 stacks of corrosive equal to 80% armor strip. Now, the first stack of corrosive will reduce enemies armor by 26%. Every stack after will reduce enemies armor by 6%, capped at 80%. With the 2 Emerald Archon shards, you will push the stacks from 10 to 14, means you will be able stripping enemies with 104%. Now, of course, you can use 1 Tau Forged, will give you plus 3, so you will have 13, but you will be capped at 98% armor strip. Honestly, I prefer to armor strip enemies 100%, so their HP turn red. That's my own, but up to you which one you want to go for. The other Archon shards doesn't matter, and for this build you don't need any 2 paths. The Helmith ability, Nourish to proc viral, or you can go for Tempest Barrage to proc viral and armor strip enemies, and I will show you that in a second. For the Warframe, and you can apply this in any Warframe you want. Worthy Camaraderie, Arcane Velocity, Arcane Precision. Velocity is what you want to replace if your Warframe requires Arcane Energize, Mold Augmented, whatever. Alright, now, when it comes to the Zylok, the Incarnon form, you hit headshots, you feel the Incarnon charge, and then you hit the button in the mouse wheel like you're performing a heavy attack or a heavy slam, okay? And then, when the Incarnon form activated, you will charge a large single shot that deals radial hit damage, very powerful. The evolution 2, increase base damage by 30, on reload from empty, increase base critical damage multiplier by 1, stacks to 2 times. Then you got evolution 3 for accuracy and weapon recoil, and evolution 4, I'm using increase base critical chance by 22%, increase base statue chance by 16%. Of course, if you want, you can go for the Fatal Affliction for 40% direct damage per statue type affecting the target, and it's really, both of them are really good. I just like the increase of statue chance in here, as I'm going to be running 2 statues and including Nourish in there, but totally up to you which one you want to go for. Both are really powerful. Now, Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot, on kill or multi-shot. Primed Expel Hurricane is multiplicative damage against the faction you're fighting. You replace it, depends on the faction you're going for. But if you don't like to keep replacing the faction modes, or not strike, and you'll be good to go. What's the difference? Is the final damage output. For example, instead of doing 3 million, you'll be doing, let's say, 2 million, give or take. Okay. I would highly recommend DE give us a way where we can turn our like faction mods, we give them to an NPC, alright, so we have to farm them, so we give them to an NPC and they give us an universal faction mod with all the factions that we gave the mods for. Primed Expel Hurricane, Primed Expel Corpus, they gave us Primed faction, Primed Expel faction, okay. Primed Target Cracker for critical damage, Magnetic Might 1999 mode for magnetic and critical damage. Now why magnetic? Magnetic is really good in here, as magnetic increase shield damage up to 325%, works like viral but for shields, with multiply stacks and disable the target shield regeneration for a short duration. That's not really what we care about right now. What we care about is when shield or overguard breaks, deal electricity damage for 3% of enemies max shield or overguard per stack with a forced electricity statue effect. Now what this doesn't tell you that the magnetic increase your damage against overguard, and it's one of the two only ways in game, either magnetic or secondary fortifier. Totally up to you which one you want to go for. Primed Convulsion for electricity. Eximus advantage is the augment for the Zylok. Headshot on Eximus, and trust me, there will be a lot of Eximus. Enemies increase secondary damage by 600% for 10 seconds. Lovely. Pistol Pestilence for toxin statue chance. Merciless gunfight for critical damage and punch through. Now, the Primed Pistol ammo mutation to convert ammo, and secondary innervate is a 1999 arcane. Increase critical chance by 10%, resets after 6 big critical hits. Now, the way secondary innervate works, it's not a 10% increase of what you have. Let's say you have 100% and secondary innervate gives you 10%, it will not be 110. It's absolute critical chance. In the meaning of, if secondary innervate will give you 1,000,000%, means you will have, let's say I have 34 right here, we will have 1,034. If it gives you 500,000, it will be 500,034. It gives you absolute critical chance, not a percentage of what you have. That you need to know. Alright. Now, if you want to turn this build into Blast, we're going to talk about it in a second, but you do a couple of changes. You put this one heat in here, and then you put cold, hold on, cold, I can't write today, right here, and you put cold in here. Now why Blast? Because Blast deals 30% of base damage after 1.5 seconds as an explosion at 10 stacks or on death. Stacks deals their damage simultaneously to enemies within 5 meters while staggering them, and we're going to be using Cordon from Nautilus to pull in enemies, and I will show you the Cordon in a second. But let's put back the build the way it is for a second, and we test both ways and you decide which one you want. Now, if you are a new player and you're like, whoa, this is so much mods, I don't even know where to get. Really simple, brother. Magnetic Might and Merciless, they're from 1999. Now, the Primed mods, they are from Baru Kitir. Now, if you don't have them, and probably you don't, okay, every single mod you see in here, it have a normal version of it. Let's pick, for example, Expel Hurricane, and we go Expel right here. There is Expel Corpus, normal one, Grenier, the Murmur, Hurricane. You see, there is a normal one. You use that until you get the Primed version, or use Ornate Strike until you get the multiplicative damage to faction. Primed Target Crackers, there is the normal Target Cracker. You can use until you get the Primed one. The Convulsion, there is the Electricity one, right here, normal Convulsion, or you can use Jolt, and you'll be good to go. Now, when it comes to Galvanized Diffusion, you get it from Arbiters of Hexis, after you do the Arbitration, and from Vitus Essence. If you don't have that, it's okay. There is the normal Barrel Diffusion, or the Amalgam Barrel Diffusion. Okay, use any of them until you get other. Now, when it comes to Primed Pistol Ammo Mutation, really easy. There is the normal Pistol Ammo Mutation, and you can use Steady Hand if you want, or you can use Trick Magazine, use whatever you want. I prefer for the ammo, and you'll be good to go. The secondary innervate is from 1999, and yeah. And now, if you don't have, for example, if you have a Riven for the Zylok, let's assume that you do, alright? Now, if it has a multiplicative damage against faction, you replace Primed Expel Hurricane. If it has CCCD, let's say CCCD multi-shot, negative zoom, you replace Merciless Gunfight. That's that. Or you can replace Magnetic Might, but I don't recommend that. Replace Merciless Gunfight. If it has CCCD electricity, you replace primed convulsion. If it has CCCD heat, you go for the build with the blast, or you keep the corrosive and you go replace mercilized gunfight. You will have extra element, which is heat. If it has CCCD toxin, you replace pistol pestilence. If it has CCCD cold, you replace pistol pestilence, and then you proc heat. You bring heat in here, and you're gonna have blast in total. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what's your riven, so I can help you place it on the build. And now for the companion, I'll be using Nautilus. Why Nautilus? Because if I will switch my build to blast, will help me a lot. And even though I don't, the radial attack from Incarnon form will hit more enemies as they will be pulled in together thanks to Cordon. Cordon will pull enemies, duplex for the clones, assault to attack, vacuum to pull the loot, manifold for more Cordon, and then you got shield, armor, health, and then reinforced bond for fire rate, tenacious bond for critical damage, 120% increase. Now there is a problem with tenacious bond. The problem is you need to have a 50% plus sentinel critical chance weapon. The sentinel weapon with 50% plus critical chance. The best sentinel weapon in the game right now is Verglass Prime, but it has one con, which is it needs a riven to reach 50% critical chance. Any riven with some critical chance, you'd be good to go. It doesn't have to be this riven that you see right there to scare you off. Alright? Just critical chance. If you don't have that, it's okay. You'd be sacrificing Tenacious Bond. It's a big deal, but you'll be alright. If you want to have Tenacious Bond active and you don't care about Sentinel weapon, you can use Prime Laser Rifle, Burst Laser Prime, or you can use the Volclock and you'll be good to go. Very easy. Just throw there any critical chance mod and you'll be good to go. And here we are against level 225 heavy corrupted gunners with one Eximus unit to activate the augment. There you go. This is the normal version right here. Boom, boom, boom. Now the problem with this build, it needs enemies with high EHP, so you can actually reach like 10 stacks, 14 stacks of corrosive and 10 stacks of viral, because these enemies are too weak for this build. Honestly, the weapon is way powerful and these enemies are too weak. Let's activate the Incarnon form, hitting the Eximus unit for the 600, activating Incarnon form, and boom, boom. See that? Boom. Boom. As you can see, the radial attack is the only thing that's going to be killing them. But what if I tell you, you can actually improve this build even further and make it more deadly? Let me show you. Applying a full D.V.S, we will need a Tempest Barrage to make sure enemies at any level we can armor strip them and proc viral on them at the same time. Velocity you can replace as always. Now, when it comes to our Zylok, there is a couple of things we need to change in here. We replace a Primed Convulsion with Primed Heated Charge, Pistol Pestilence with Cold, right about here, and then Mercilized Gunfight, we can replace it with the Pistol Elementalist. Statue damage, which is a multiplicative damage on slash, heat, electricity, toxin blast, and gas. This weapon has a blast on it for the radial attack, and that's what we care about. Now, blast get blasty means it will deal damage simultaneously to all enemies within 5 meters. You're dealing a radial attack, and Cordon from Nautilus will pull enemies for you. And so let's check the results. Let's go. Here we go. Now I'll be just armor stripping enemies like so and proc viral on them. I'll hit this Eximus unit, boom, to activate the 600, and then I can just shoot them like so, or then activate the Incarnon form, which is the deadliest, and boom, everything is dead at the same time. Now how that happened? Because it's blast, and blast will get blasty, and because okay, this weapon deals radial, and that radial will be blast, and the blast get blasty, so it's a chain reaction of a radial attack in grouped enemy, combining radial and combining blast at the same time. Now let's armor strip these guys, and look at this. Boom, that guy's died right there. Look at that. Boom. Now this is the normal attack, like you see, 5 million, and so to feel the Incarnon form. Now these enemies are too weak. I'm saying like 225 heavy corrupted gunners are weak, which is like crazy to say, and that's 17 million, my friend, and that's the power of a full D.V.S. Look at that. Boom, they're dead. Now the statue damage is really multiplicative and it's really powerful, and you'll be clearing enemies like butter, baby. Look at that. Boom, boom. Now for example, if you use sight 09 with gas, oof, baby, it's gonna be even more deadly. Okay, let's go. Armor stripping this guy. Boom. You see? I just hit this guy, everything else died. Boom. everything died. Now that's the chain reaction of Radial and Blast at the same time, and I think this build is really brilliant. And I've taken to level cap. It wasn't shown, of course, in the speedrun because I was like shaking it and all that. I didn't record the part, but you can see the potential of it. And up to you which build you want to take. And this is the second build. Now the 3, of course, in the channel for the Incarnon Zylok. Let me know which one is your favorite. Let's go. And by this we reach the end. I will give this weapon 8 out of 10. Really powerful weapon and amazing. I want to say thank you so much for everyone that supported the channel in any way. Liking, subbing, commenting, follow me on Twitch, joining my Discord, follow me on TikTok. Big love to you all and thank you so much. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this weapon. Special thanks for Hall of members. You guys are amazing. The special VIPs, the undisputed donator, and the Hall of donations. Big love to you all and all my community. And I'll see you guys next time.